Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Place of No Words. And this is from writer-director Mark Webber, who was an actor in the likes of Scott Pilgrim and Green Room, and this film centers on a couple of different storylines of a young man dealing with death, and the idea of death, and that specter of death. And it kind of presents the film in three different lights, where this young kid's dealing with his father dying, or dealing with his mother dying, and us having those feelings and those ideas processed through this fantasy of, like, Game of Thrones-y, high fantasy. There's like fairies and witches and all kinds of stuff like that. This film is trying to do a lot. And in general, sometimes it's hard to keep track of story-wise which thread's going and how it really fits together. And especially how it's structured, you're not always quite sure exactly which line you're following at any present moment. Obviously, like, the really fantasy one's pretty easy, but I feel like what really works about this film is it sets this tone and this environment for us to process these ideas, and they're really well realized and really emotionally impactful. And like I said, the story might not feel always put together in the best way or easy to follow, but what is easy to follow is the emotions that are trying to be portrayed in this film through the relationships of these characters. And Webber is playing the father in this film as well, and he gives a really strong performance. And this young kid, specifically, which Bodie Palmer, who plays the young boy, is really good as a child actor in this film, and you really get these emotional moments and these themes, and I feel like those are well realized in this experience. It's really well shot. It's beautifully shot. This is a beautiful film. And it's moving in that way as it catches that beauty. And there's a lot of fun fantasy elements to it that, like, it's interesting because if this was a film just about those moments too, it's like, I think I would have enjoyed this too. And would have gotten some enjoyment out of just the fantasy journey that you go on. But it weaves those ideas, that those really human and relatable ideas from these actual moments and real life moments into the fantasy world so well that I feel like this film is moving and emotional and impactful. And I really appreciate how well this film brings that together and made me feel things. And like I said, just from like a film, watching this film perspective, it's a beautiful film to watch. And I really enjoyed it. And I was moved by it. Where, like I said, I might not have been as invested in the story or drawn in by the structure of it necessarily. There's enough of that emotion and feeling to it that really kept me invested, and thought this was a really solid, good film, and I think it has some great messages along with it. And I would definitely recommend The Place of No Words. And those are my thoughts. This is something that I got an early screener of, so when this comes around, I hope people get a chance to go see it, because it was a wonderful little film. And it's a little awe-inspiring, and I appreciated it. But those are my thoughts. Let's talk some movies. And let me know what you think. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.